Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for February 18th, 2021, Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern. I just wanted to give everybody a heads up. We're going to be offering the material that I'm reading on my TFCCs to everyone, and I'll go in more detail about that tomorrow on the reverse aging call. But so people will be able, like I said, eventually we'll offer it to the public. So we're going to have it, the book available, the first volume, tome, so that people can access it and read it and start educating themselves. As I convey the information, and I want to make sure that everybody can have the opportunity to get one and start reading themselves, so that they can become much more aware of the beginning understanding of their roots of the civilization. And so that's I'll discuss that tomorrow, and then direct people on where they can get one. And so that's good news. As things keep changing, because we know that the external world is always constantly shifting and changing. And we also know that the only thing, at least I think some of us do, that the source creation within us, the God source, the divine perfection, does not ever change, because it's divine perfection. Everything else changes. These bodies change. The externalism changes. All of the things happening outside of us, all the things going on. It's a constant shifting and changing that we are experiencing, and it's a continual process. And some of us get so caught up in it that we just don't know, we just aren't aware on what's going on for the most part, because everything twists and turns and everything is not too honest, let's put it that way. So we're dealing with a lot of lies and deceit, and almost like a parlor trick where you get a sleight of hand, thinking that the people are still asleep. And I think for the majority of a lot of people that were not awake are clearing their eyes out, and I think they're quite much more aware than they ever have been in this country. And I think that people, and it's good, because it isn't a blow 'em up, beat 'em up type of attitude. It is a real clear awareness of what we're going to, as a people, going to do, and how we're going to change things for the better of all of us, because all of us will be front and center connected with it. We won't be in the dark and have somebody that we put faith in and believe and trust that breach our trust. So we think about, and we talk a lot about going within, and this is what it's always about. Enlighten your mind. This simple light of our consciousness is all we need to see through the darkest shadows of our minds. So we use our light to see beyond all of the ego's never-ending list of expectations, assumptions, and demands. And see, these three forces have dominated us and our precious being for way too long. Watch how these patterns grab onto you and pull at you quickly without warning. None of us are exempt from it. You take one step back and ask for whatever you need to relax deeper into the pure, scintillating awareness that shines its light on everything. The enlightened mind is so bright that it causes your shadows to forget their misleading purpose, and they instantly dissolve back into the light. You can relax right in this now and let the light guide everything for you. We all trust 300% in the light. And we're not talking about the bad light, because there is a bad light. There's a Luciferian light. And we aren't talking about that one. So I want to emphasize that. We don't put all the light in one bucket, because like anything, the yin, the yang, you have good light and bad light. This is the good light. This is God, the source creator, of which we are all gods of. It's important for us to embrace that. We choose to, or you don't choose to. It's just up to each and every one of us. You know, we all live under the same sky, but we don't see the same light. And that's a Chinese proverb. One of the greatest risks we take in life, in this life, and I think all of us, sooner or later, no matter how much macho you appear to be, or, you know, straight and strong, is to open our hearts up to be immersed in a deep, intimate relationship with someone, maybe yourself. Allowing ourselves to be deeply connected to the soul, mind, and heart of another being, you want to call it a human being, mankind, we must become extremely vulnerable, which many of us will not do, and willing to let all of our parts be felt and seen. How many people do you know do that? There is a huge possibility that the other will not reciprocate on the same loving level which we've invested. And we find ourselves feeling isolated, emotionally distanced, empty, and depleted. We also run into the chance that we might fall madly in love with our partner, making their life path, purpose, and mission more of a priority than our own. There are 10,000 pitfalls plus to watch out for when engaging in a deep, long-term intimacy. And this is what makes it one of the most exciting, expansive, and soul-growing experiences we can explore on this planet. A life without love is a dry, mechanical, and intellectual chore. A life with love is a deep, heartfelt, and spiritually juicy adventure. We have the choice, each of us, each day, which avenue we will take. Even if we are not in a partnership with someone, we can choose to greet the world, each being we see, whether they exist in our bed, on the computer screen, or behind the counter of our local grocery store, with an open, compassionate heart and accepting mind. The gift you give is the one that you receive, and reflects how fulfilled you'll feel at the end of each day. It is destined to manifest, move energy into form, create into reality. At some point in any long-term relationship journey, that one side will recoil in anger, judgment, or fear, and the previously open-hearted communication becomes more protected, guarded, and closed. We all get unconsciously triggered by a small, potentially innocent situation, resulting in a negative reaction in exchanging words that are hurtful, unkind, or unloving. If there is no deep, immediate apology and real, true forgiveness between each partner, one side of the relationship will fall into deep mistrust, stop opening up, and becoming even more distant, skeptical, judgmental, and eventually cold as ice. Hopefully, we are conscious, communicative, and courageous enough to intervene before the relationship morphs into a continuous state of pain and need a major overhaul. There is no more a greater challenge in this life than love. If you love someone, you are in a tremendous turmoil. Love is not all roses, as your poets have said. It is more thorny than you can imagine. Love is the greatest danger in this life. If you really want to grow, accept the greatest danger and move into it. Osho. The main reason couples have these volcanic eruptions in their relationships is that the wounded elephant in the closet needs to come out of hiding. Each partner needs to come true, clean, and reveal the dark wounds they are holding on to. Now, this may be dark wounds that one brings in with them. It doesn't necessarily mean that those dark wounds, the elephant in the closet, had anything to do with their partner. They must be vulnerable again to love, like the way things were in the beginning. They must both become fully and radically responsible for the experience they are creating within their connection. The major challenge and confusion that can manifest in relationship is when we begin pointing the finger outside ourselves. We start blaming our partner for making us feel this way, focusing on their issues, pointing at their addictions and lack of happiness. We stop reflecting on our own lives, our past wounded history, and seeing more clearly and deeply into ourselves. In order for a healthy resolution to occur, when an eruption occurs, the main exploration always needs to be on our inner world. Healing begins when each partner looks deeply within to where, when, and how their first memory of a pain or conflict similar to this one first began. By finding our furthest root, our deepest pain within ourselves, we can take responsibility for why we engaged in our viewpoint of this unloving experience we helped create and untangle the emotional relationship within ourselves, healing the hurt history at the core. We can take responsibility for our own pain, our own lack of healthy boundaries, of loving ourselves, trusting ourselves, and stop playing the victim game and empower ourselves again. If our pain stems from abusive past situations, it often requires that we take a radical, unconventional approach and stop projecting the original abuser to be someone or something that came from the outer world. We must see everything, choose to see everything now is happening from within us. The past is a dead thing, and we are the ones keeping it alive. See, a lot of us do that. The past is a dead thing, and we are the ones keeping it alive, regenerating the emotional wounding memories day after day, year after year. To truly heal ourselves at the core, we must deeply understand why our soul chose to allow for this abuse to occur, what the deeper positive growth lesson was for us, and truly forgive ourselves and the abuser. This is how we can heal those parts inside us that continue to manifest abuse in some form, from one relationship after the next. We must help this wounded part feel again that it deserves to be cherished, adored, and loved. Dive into your heart center. Sit in the silence. Desire self-realization with all your heart and with all your mind and all your soul. Cry out for God, and you will be with the right people. Everything will take care of itself. Robert Adams. With the courage to have deep, authentic communication and radical responsibility with our partner, we can find ourselves in real healing within ourselves. The main obstacle is the prideful ego, is rarely willing to be wrong about its judgments, as the emotional triggers can run through every righteous cell in the body and brain. The ego would often rather die than be wrong, which is exactly what the overall plan is from a spiritual perspective. If the ego is too rigid and unwilling to bend, the relationship will take a catastrophic turn for the worse, increasing in levels of emotional resistance, creating even more pain and agony. One of the greatest benefits of being in relationship is that we must rise higher each day in love. And this totally dismantles our attachment to our ego. It is increasing our vibrational frequency, always being in love, just like in always being in gratitude. Living in a deeply loving, intimate, vulnerable, and long-term harmonious connection, first with ourselves and then with another person, is one of the most spiritually advanced accomplishments any one of us, human beings, mankind, can undertake. We are forced to live in love as love, in full acceptance and total surrender to this life. We must choose to engage in a playful, easy way of being with each other. If a relationship is going to survive a turbulent time, the ego must give up everything for love. Let go of all the core trauma, and deal with the core wounding. And this allows each partner to become a truly alive, highly sensitive, conscious being. What's left afterwards is the wake of deep reverence and appreciation for your partner, who was able to hold space and mirror your life back to you, allowing you to see your wounding, and truly heal your life from the inside out. Through engaging in relationship for many years or decades with our partner, it's natural that we'll become deeply entangled in each other's lives. If children are born, they join into the marriage and become facilitators, inviting us to bring in more love, creativity, and patience. They serve the relationship to help the parents find their own innocence again, so the family can reboot their lives with love and entice all the past core wounding to rise to the surface and be healed. A deeply entwined relationship will also eventually contain financial ties, an accumulation of things purchased together, a shared home environment, joined schedules, and of course, an extremely deep emotional connection. All of these factors contribute to amping up the intensity on the relationship, making it require even more real, radical communication from the heart, a greater strength to be real. Dismantle the demanding ego. Feel the full release of an attachment to being right and the total vulnerability of the soul. The more honest and authentic we are, the more deeply we go into the mystery of our own being, Adashante. It often happens in almost every relationship that we hit the wall of deep miscommunication. Our partner feels unable or unwilling to meet us on our spiritual path. There is a lack of depth of honesty, real loving communication from the heart, and willingness to be vulnerable. We then must take an energetic step back and take care of ourselves. It is immensely unhealthy and even dis-ease creating to remain in a long-term relationship that is not opening up to more healing, harmony, and balance. We are doing ourselves a huge disservice by remaining unhappy and staying in the struggle. When we continue to remain involved in a toxic relationship, it is always the involvement of the stubborn ego in disguise, manipulating the outer, trying to return this experience of security, ease, and love again. This strategy is not teaching our children or community what love is really about. Real love contains the greatest freedom and allows space for our partner and ourselves to explore the pain within. If we continuously meet the great wall of China in our partner's heart, it's best to become selfish and take care of our emotional needs. If our partner isn't willing to open their heart, forgive the past, and begin in soulful communication, we must find this connection with ourselves. This means we must take time alone, giving ourselves and our partner extra time and space to feel the emotional blocks and discover how to heal our inner world. It can be one of the most difficult decisions in the world to unlock ourselves from a relationship that we once deeply loved and adored. We may project all kinds of positive aspects onto our partner, so it is not always obvious that the relationship is unhealthy. There are always a few key positive qualities. The other is continuing to contribute, keeping the connection tie and their partner from abandoning them. The emotional dance of relationship can mainly be an unconscious ride, so we cannot blame the other for trying to perpetuate a relationship that is continuously painful. We must become totally honest with ourselves if we are to find the clear eyes and heart to know how unhappy we are and how toxic it is for us. After years of entanglement, It often happens that we remain in toxic relationships much longer than is healthy. We choose to become distracted by other positive aspects of life, buying things with love, hanging with people who love us, focusing on creating projects, our work, or creating more money take precedence. If children are involved, then they become a huge excuse to stay together, keeping the illusion stable of a happy, healthy home. It can even go to the extent that our own health is compromised and takes the back burner. What we may forget to realize is that a major influence of our own emotional chaos and toxicity is stemming from how we are feeling disconnected from the most significant person in our lives. If we truly love ourselves, we must give ourselves space, the freedom to find peace within our being again. We must choose to create energetic, emotional, and physical space and time away from our partner. This is not from a place of resentment, blame, and hurt, yet stems from a place of self-love and the desire to inquire who we truly are. Most of the time, the reason why a relationship becomes toxic is because one person in the partnership is focusing on self-growth, spiritual development, and healing old wounds, while the other person is engaging in self-destructive habits, maintaining old outer addictions such as alcohol, drugs, sex, food, etc., and stunting their ability to communicate from a real space of vulnerability. If both sides are either engaging together in self-destructive patterns or self-growing habits, the relationship will most likely perpetuate in a supportive process. However, if there is not a team effort, it doesn't take very long for one side to wake up and realize the other person is a hindrance, blocking the exploration and constantly causing more challenge than comfort. To set your life on fire, seek those who fan your flames. Rumi. The healthiest way to unhook ourselves from a harmful relationship is a basic four-step process. These steps are not always going to unfold in this order or require that they are followed exactly for optimal results. There are perhaps 1,000 creative ways we can disengage from our partner and depart from a toxic situation. The better question to ask yourself is which path will empower and enlighten you the most, as well as leave your partner in a way that inspires and enlightens them as well. It's good to know that these are suggestions and not rules or requirements, so that you discover your own creative healing process within yourself. As you identify if your relationship is toxic and unhealthy. This step can be the most challenging because we ourselves or our partner may be going through a self-destructive phase that is on its way out or is just beginning. It is hard to know how committed we are and the other person is to healing, self-growth, and vulnerability, especially when life gets really heated up. The main step here begins with asking yourself honest questions, such as, does this person inspire me, lift me up, make me feel more positive, free, generous, and strong? Who would I be without this person in my daily life? Do I feel more like my true self when I'm with them? Am I truly a better human being staying with this person? Am I authentically happy when I'm with this person? Basically, you want to investigate your joy and fulfillment index and explore it if it's mainly in the positive or the negative. Even if you're only happy, let's say 51 to 70% of the time being with your partner, you may want to reconsider if this is considered to be enough of a healthy status for you and give the relationship a spatial break. Engage in authentic communication and radical responsibility. Share with your partner how you're not feeling happy in the relationship and make sure that you take full responsibility for your creation of this. Do not blame your partner or point the finger at them in any way. Simply be vulnerable, honest, real about what you're going through in this relationship with them, taking total responsibility. Listen to how your partner responds. Do they react in fear? Do they open up their heart to you or shut down and run away completely? Attempt to engage in this radical connection with them many times over many months, especially if they are in a long-term marriage situation with children involved. Call in a third party neutral person, counselor if needed, who can help bring in more authenticity and deeper communication skills. If your partner only responds with resistance, judgment, and fear, it is your clear sign to create more space between the two of you. Create a space for you, and not because of them. When you've come to the conclusion that the relationship is completely stuck and not going to get unstuck anytime soon, it is vital that you commit to step away from it. How you engage in your approach is crucial, and that you're not blaming them for treating you a certain way and taking space is your way of having revenge on them. This is not an action out of feeling hurt or resentful. You are simply creating more energetic space and alone time for you to explore your connection with the divine God. You are not a victim of these circumstances. You are the creator of your reality always. And by choosing to take more time to be alone, you can investigate the roots of your suffering. You need to live in an emotionally non-toxic environment to truly do this investigation clearly. Giving space to you means you are loving. And this translates to your partner as a full permission and urgency to find this same love for themselves. The easiest way that you can take this step away is knowing that it's not some permanent path of relationship destruction, or that you'll never talk to be friends again. When they become radically responsible for their life, it will be safe for you to reconnect. Yet until then, it's about being selfish. It's about making this time more about you and less about them. You're unhooking simply as an act of self-love, and your partner is a teacher on your path, an instigator who has been generous enough to mirror back those parts of yourself you could not and did not want to see. You depart with an open heart filled with gratitude. When you are committed to being in a space of love for yourself, your unhooking decision will naturally create a desire for more space and time to be alone and explore you. From this self-loving space, it will be natural to thank your partner for all the time you spent together. Give them a goodbye gift to remember your heart and soul. Make it a symbol of what you received from the time you were together. This is a powerful message of appreciation, and it is the only type of closure that will always help you and your partner cut the cords, detach in a healthy way, move on to the next level. When the departing, if your partner freaks out and becomes overly emotional, clingy, or demanding, just continue with the process of appreciation, creating space alone to love you. Their emotional drama is simply a sign that they still have strong feelings for you and want you in their life. It is vitally important at this juncture that you remain centered and continue moving forward with your plan to create a more harmonious inner and outer environment for you. Keep an open heart to the universe during this process. You cannot actually become stuck in a painful negative pattern if your heart never closes. You can love your partner from a distance with compassion, and by using this method, you don't close your heart off to yourself as well. In the beginning, when separating from your partner, every excuse may arise to recoil, become cowardly, return to the old comfortable ways of being together. This is where you breathe. Return to step one. Ask yourself the list of questions again. Be strong like bamboo. Breathe and center yourself. And as you leave them, show your partner this inner strength and design to be alone, as it is very attractive for them, and it will help them find this strength and respect within themselves. This is all about understanding you first, being vulnerable to you first, and being an open-hearted being to others, and not nullifying the love that you are to expand out to another. And this is the relationship of the civilization on this planet. We all are susceptible to issues with others because we don't know ourselves. And our loving relationship with ourselves is very stressed. And we carry with us wounds and memories of the past, which is dead, and we bring it into a new relationship where it begins to take over. And so this is all about how you are with you is how you're going to be with others. It all starts with each of us first. It can be no other way. If you don't love yourself, how are you going to love anyone else? You're not. It's going to be tumultuous. It's going to be eventful, conflicting, stressful, angry, irritating, upsetting. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Have you ever seen people that you can tell they've been together a long time? And you're not judging them, but you're noticing. And remember, everybody's a teacher. Everybody's teaching us. See, you look from a student standpoint. I don't care how old you are. You're still learning. So from a student standpoint, you're looking and you're saying, they don't seem to be alive with each other. They've fallen into such a rut of just cohabitating that there's no smile, there's no love there. It's just absolute a void. You ever seen that? You see a couple sitting and they aren't talking, they aren't interacting, they aren't smiling, but they're together, but they're not. This civilization, each and every one of us, man, woman, child, it is about how we love ourselves. It is about how we surrender to ourselves. It is about the relationship that we have with God within us and knowing this and being open and vulnerable, heart-wise to others. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I am sure that we all are. And one of the best things we could ever do for ourselves is relax our bodies, naturally. No drugs, no alcohol, none of that. That's artificial. It never does work. And you just naturally let go of whatever you've attracted, whatever you're dragging with you, whatever ball and chain that you've shackled yourself with, whatever memory that stresses you out, it irritates you, or makes you fearful, whatever it may be. The past is dead. It is gone. It is long gone. You are not going to relive it unless you choose to. And that's not really a good one either. So you literally, and you're the only one that can do this. No one else can. You identify what it is you're carrying. The shoulders will drop, the face will relax. You'll feel this ease coming over you, deep within you and around you, head to toe, where you just relax. You let go. You surrender everything. Worries, stresses, fears, anxieties, all of it. And as you do this, you'll know it. You'll feel it. You'll begin to almost float. You have a care in the world. And by doing this, then we move into the now. And why? As we relax the body, we move into the now. We still the ego and the mind, and we still the subconscious mind. We step outside of them. We're not in them anymore. There's nothing for us to prove to ourselves. There's nothing about the ego that controls us and, where we have to be better than others and we have to be more than others and we have to plan and organize and structure this and that. It's just letting go, surrendering. And moving into the now, the space between heartbeats, and all that noise and chatter that we're lambasted with every single second of our existence from the ego mind is gone. And then you're able to view the ego and the mind and how they operate, what they're about. This is the only way you're going to master the ego and mind. And once you master them, eventually they will not be needed. They will be no more. Now, some of us will go in the past. We all do, it's like a burial ground of past experiences. You see, it is. It's a burial ground. It's like an elephant graveyard. And so we go in there, and all these dead carcasses of past memories and everything. And then we entertain them, and we reminisce and embrace them, And then, but we don't stay there. But unfortunately, some of us do, and we stay there so long that we bring that past into a future, dragging something dead into a future that doesn't exist, creating that future out of that past and reliving that past in that future. This is why people say, why do I see this? It seems like I always end up in the same place. No matter what I do, where I go, who I know, I always end up in the same place. Why is that? And then some of us will skip over the now and we'll just stay in the future that doesn't exist. And we just wander around and bump into walls, and we're constantly asking ourselves, when is this going to happen? When is that going to happen? When am I going to have enough of this? When am I going to have enough of that? What if this happens? What if that goes this way? And we spend all of our time. And then there's the now. That's where the true power of understanding is. So when we're in the now and we still the mind and the ego and subconscious mind, we relax the body. It isn't a place we care to leave. But we have all of these thoughts hitting us left and right. So we let that in, say. And the only way it comes in is when we leave the now. Because the ego mind comes back in, taps on us, hey, come over here. And so then we leave the now and we go off and quaff off with some of these thoughts. But when you're conscious and you know you're doing that, it's okay. So I'll focus on my breath. And the breath will bring me into the now. And then then I still everything again. So I practice doing that. And your breath is divine positive energy. Why is it divine positive energy? Because it literally sustains the vessel that houses the kingdom of God. And it literally focuses us, relaxes us, oxygenates our blood. It does a lot of things. Calms us. So we relax our bodies, and we're not in the ego mind, we're in the now. Every single moment is our only focus, moment to moment. So when we quiet everything and we step out of the ego mind and we watch our bodies as they're relaxed, they're sitting, and we watch as things transpire. And this is a wonderful feeling because the ego and the mind have no interference. And so you're observing. And you watch your divine positive energy, your breath, join with the God Force Love Light energy and watch it move effortlessly through the center of your body from the tip of your tailbone to the top of your head. And you notice that there's 7 wheels of light, all different colors, all in different flower shapes, all with different geometrical shapes inside of them. And you'll notice that they spring out and their auras touch all of you, of your physical body. They're etheric. They're spiritual. They bridge the physical to the spiritual and back. So you view this, and you see where your organs in your body are connected to these energy vortexes, these chakras, right? Your God Force Love Light energy is your chi, your ki, your prana. Just as this planet has a God Force Love Light energy, chi or prana. So you watch. And you notice that the red wheel of light, which is your root chakra, right, your tailbone, the Muladhara. And this deals with your survival and is blocked by your fear. And then we move to the orange wheel of light. And this is the Sacral Chakra. And this is the Vadhisthana. And this deals with your pleasure and it's blocked by your guilt. And then we move to the golden yellow wheel of light, which deals with willpower, your willpower, and it is blocked by shame. And this is the solar plexus chakra, the Manipura. And then we move to the emerald green wheel of light, the heart chakra, the Anahata. And this deals with our love, your love. And it is blocked by grief, your grief. And grief can come in many different forms. And then we move to the blue wheel of light, the throat chakra, the Vishuddha. And this deals with our truth. And it is blocked by our lies. And then we move to the indigo wheel of light. This is the third eye chakra, the Ahajna. And this deals with our insight. And it is blocked by illusion. What you believe is real is not. What you believe is not real is. That is the illusion. And then we move to the crown chakra, the violet wheel of light, the Sahasrara. This deals with our cosmic energy. And of all things is blocked by our ego attachment. Our attachment to our egos blocks our cosmic energy. So that you watch this, you're not interrupting it, but you're watching these energies. And they bubble up to the top of our heads, the crown chakra, and we hold them briefly. We are light, we are love, we are God. And in that short period of time, we compress and condense these energies into pure liquid energy. Omnipotently powerful. And we release them over our pineal glands. Now, none of us have fully operational pineal glands. And it's a very important organ for us while we're in these bodies. It literally connects us to all the particles of existence. It connects us to the God source. It connects us to pure consciousness and beyond. Spiritual plane, astral plane. So it's very important. Now, we can view it. We view it however we see our pineal gland through our heart, mind, motion picture. I see it as a rosebud. And when I pour this liquid energy over it, instantaneously is a fully blossomed rose, massive with multicolored petals. It's sending out shimmering waves, and the waves, when they come and they penetrate, you are just absolutely in the deepest of eternal peace. It isn't an external peace. It's internal. It opens up the peace that you are. It is a magnificent feeling. And not just in the physical, but the spiritual as well. It's a deep, pure, eternal peace. And it is so calming. And everything, it's like everything melts off of you that you have picked up in this physical world. And the aroma, the fragrance is spectacular. And this lends us to let go and surrender everything because we are everything. And we're consciously aware that we're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. To know this purely in deep peace, deep eternal love, and deep eternal gratitude, but to know this, to be this, to remove all of the blocks that we put on ourselves. In total gentleness and kindness and generosity and humbleness with ourselves. These bodies we're in, we're consciously aware that the body, the heart mind, the ego mind, the subconscious mind, the higher self, the spirit, the soul, the
the God, the pure consciousness, it's all one. All one. So we are heaven literally on this planet Earth. And every step we take, we're creating paradise in this now. And we are shining our light outward. The deep, eternal love light energy that we all are, we shine it and flood it on everyone, everywhere. All of our brothers and sisters, whether they're awake or asleep, head to toe, inside and out, in real time, eternally, always, continually lifting our vibrational frequencies of deep eternal love and gratitude and deep eternal peace continuously, ascending all the time. We are a collective consciousness. Parts of us are asleep. Parts of us are awake. Parts of us are in between. So we call out to other facets and aspects of ourselves, other parts of the collective consciousness, which are parts of us. All the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. But only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming a circle of light, and the continual ascension into higher frequencies of deep eternal love, gratitude, and peace. And they come in the gigaplexes, and one gigaplex fills this universe. They come in trillions of gigaplexes in all directions from trillions of universes. And they are with us now consciously. We call upon the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. Many, many, many civilizations, but only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, in forming the circle of light, and the complete liberation of this planet. And they, in the billions, are with us now consciously. We call upon all the off-worlders, galactics, celestials, from everywhere, in every place, in every existence. But only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light and complete liberation of this planet. Now, we're only familiar with a smidgen of them. Over 1,000 travel through the solar system every day. Trillions travel throughout trillions of universes every day. And so we're only familiar with the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, the felines, the Reticuli, the Nords and the Greys, the Draco, the Reptilian, the Golden Pyramid, and the Avian. There's countless others. They've been assisting us in our evolution, in our enlightenment, in our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And in uncountable numbers, they are with us now consciously. We call upon all of our loved ones, all of those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. But only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light, and the complete liberation of this planet. And in the billions, they are with us now. We call upon all the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms on in, above and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light, complete liberation of this planet. We're only familiar with a smidgen of them, and only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude can be with us. And just a smidgen of them, they come in trillions in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations of which we've never seen. Our familiarity is with fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire. The Pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more. And in the trillions, they are with us now, consciously. And we're all gathered, arm in arm, hand in hand. All of our gods one, in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we are all one, and we are all God, and we are all love. And our God, force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We immediately form a massive circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now, this meditation. This light that we form is our divine perfection. It is the God source that each and every one of us are. All of us are little gods that make up the one God, the big God. And this light is so bright that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take over 1,000 billion suns in this solar system alone to even come close to its radiance. And we're flooding all of our brothers and sisters, whether they're awake or asleep, from head to toe, inside and out, with this God-force love light energy, saturating, bathing. And this is the deepest and deepest, deepest of pure eternal love. And they feel it. You cannot not feel it through the heart mind, both spiritually and physically. So we begin to ascend above this planet, flooding everything with our light. As we do, we're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter, reflecting trillions of vibrant colored lights everywhere. All of us gathered. This reflection is everywhere, on us, around us. And when we look close at these reflections, they're perfectly etched mirrors. And they're all reflecting all of us as the one, as the God. All learning from one another, teaching one another, whether consciously or unconsciously. It's absolutely spectacular. And then we're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that reminds us all that we are the power of healing. And eventually, this civilization will heal itself in a blink of the eye. We're then met with the emerald green, or the purple flaming blue light of Archangel Michael. This is the column of light that reminds us all of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. And then we're met with the white fire. This is the column of light that reminds each and every single one of us that from head to toe, inside and out, eternally, always, without interruption, we are imbued with a white fire armor. This is the God force, love, light, energy. It is the God. It is the source. It is protecting us 24/7 eternally. No demons, no attachments, nothing can attach itself, can harm us, destroy us, influence us, possess us at all. But only you, only you, only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, through anger, hate, greed, envy, deception, dishonesty, manipulation, fear, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. If you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with a purple transmuting flame. This is the column of light that reminds us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all of these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutralized substance, and we send them to pure consciousness where they are gone. No more. We are then met with the violet ray. This is a column of light that reminds us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame, cleansing and purifying the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, and restoring our vibrational harmony into the highest of the highest high of deep eternal love and gratitude. We are then met with a golden white pink light. This is the column of light that reminds us all that we are the sun, the sunlight. We are the rain and the rainbows. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the trees and forests. We're the soils. We're the oceans, the rivers, the lakes and the streams. We're the snow. We're the animals. We're everything. So the next time you are set in awe of a beautiful sunset or sunrise, a beachfront, a snowfall, you are in awe of you. You're in awe of the beauty and divinity that you are, always have been, always will be, ever, beyond, and forever. We continue to ascend above this planet. Some of us step outside our physical form, float effortlessly above them if we're carrying physical form. We come across this massive crystalline light tower. We created it. It's larger than a solar system. And in the center of the column, we see this oblong sphere. It's surrounded by beautiful bands of colored lights, shimmering, sparkling. And in the center of it is this golden white ball of light. And it sends out these massive waves. It looks like a glittering mist of gold and white. And it saturates and penetrates us from head to toe, inside and out, eternally. This is deep eternal love. And this is a reflection of the divine perfection within us, the God. All the other colored bands are doing the same thing, sending us vapors, mist, these beautiful glittering clouds that saturate us inside and out, and they are of gratitude, of well-being, of prosperity, of abundance, of joy, of peace, of gratitude, of gentleness and kindness and generosity and humbleness, of benevolence and tranquility. And they're all reflections of who and what we are. At the top, we designed it so that the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, as it does eternally, always, saturating and flooding us all, head to toe, inside and out, with pure, deep, eternal love. We are all drops of this golden ocean, and we all hold the essence of this ocean. The ocean is the drops, and the drops are the ocean. And the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere at set center circle. We all created this sphere over 3 years ago. It houses well over 1,200 of our meditations in perpetual motion. These are forever. They're eternal, always. And that's all of that intent, all of that love is flooding all of us all the time. And the deepest, deepest, deepest core of our existence, of the God source and the God that we all are. This is why this meditative sphere can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And this is why it continues to intensify, and this is why it continues to expand. You can see, you can feel this deep, eternal love literally saturating you. You can understand and see the liberation right before your eyes of all of our brothers and sisters in this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. We are all open-hearted, and we are all filled with gratitude, not once in a while, but always. And when we come to the understanding with ourselves that we love ourselves dearly, deeply, and we have an intimate relationship with the God within us, then our relationships with others will be a dream. It will be with ease. I'll join you in the meditation and return to close us out. an easy breath in through the nose. And an easy breath out through the mouth. Breathe with ease and slowly. The more honest and authentic we are, the more deeply we go into the mystery of our own being. Dive into your heart center. Sit in the silence. Desire self-realization with all your heart, and all your mind, and all your soul. Speak out to God, and you will be with the right people, and everything will take care of itself. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and into the following morning. And we will be back here February 19th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern, Friday, to continue our Global Guided Meditation call. We'll also be back here at 9 p.m. Eastern for our Reverse Aging call.